meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so we are doing the last part of that lesson, scientific benefits of chanting. No, I'll just take out the lesson. Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Aminati Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisheshishunyavadi Paschatdeshadana Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we'll just quickly in 2 minutes revise what we did yesterday. On superconscious mind, subconscious mind, and conscious mind. I gave you examples of a fish inside a lake, and a boat on the river, and a plane in the sky. 3 examples I gave you for this. Yesterday we discussed about it. Similarly, we have our subconscious mind, which is like a glacier inside this, unseen externally. Only the tip of the iceberg is seen. Nevertheless, there is a big glacier below the water. Similarly, we all have our subconscious mind. 90% of our personality is hidden in the subconscious mind. Only 10% is visible to the world. People cannot know who we are. Somebody will be looking at us. So, therefore, the subconscious mind has to be cleansed by the chanting of the holy name. Otherwise, subconscious mind can have many of the hidden things. Then we elaborately discussed about what is there in the mind. We discussed about the experiences, the perceptions, the desires developing into hankerings and longings and madness and all that. All these things are occupying the mind. Therefore, then I discussed about vritti, vasana, sanskar. So for vritti, I told you examples of ripples. If you throw a stone in water body. Then vasana means, I gave the example of a liquor pot. After throwing out the liquor, if you wash it with the water and wipe it with the towel, still smell is coming, vasanas are coming. Similarly, the world, so we call it as a vritti means like thought waves, which are desires. And vasana means like propensity, it's a tendency. And sanskara means propensity. So in this way, the desires gradually form habits. The habits come tendencies and propensities very strongly. Vritti, vasana, sanskara. So these things develop in us. So the root of all these things is the thought. Thought turned to word, then into actions, into habits, into character and culture ultimately. And then we discuss about the mind, how the mind is conversing with itself, discussing pros and cons. And you want to silence the internal dialogue, but loudly chant the holy name. And then you can see this 3 circles, the black band, saffron band, yellow band. Black band is negative distractions. Then saffron band is positive distractions. And the yellow circle is the prayerful mood. Then we discussed a lot about the distractions itself. I was telling you the example of how one of the senior devotees was carrying a projector. Somebody threw a 200 rupees on the floor to distract the person to steal the projector. Similarly, we also have to be very careful because the mind distracts us from more important goals to less important goals. So we get deviated. Like students join a college. but then they spend away time in playing, and suddenly the real exam has come near. So we should not get distracted by less important goals. We should remember the more important goals. So we're telling about the uh, distractions. We have to avoid the distractions. If you remember, I gave you another example of keeping a dustbin inside the room with slightly open dustbin where mosquitoes are increasing in the room. Similarly, if you keep the impurities in the mind, it is like letting the mosquito like material disease to keep on stinging us. They just make a sound and they sting you, and you keep getting troubled by the material desires. So don't keep the material desires in the mind. We have to purify it. The reason is, I told you in my home there was a dustbin which was kept by my devotee. Whatever things you put in that invites mosquitoes. So when you remove the material desires from the mind, by cleansing the mind by chanting Hare Krishna, then the mind becomes clean and peaceful. Then no more material desires stinging us. So like that, we were discussing many examples. So once the mind is purified, then these are the kind of things like, there's gratitude, repentance, austerity, prayerful mood, Lord's splendid pastimes. All these things fill up our mind. Our mind can become like a beautiful garden filled with fragrant blossoming roses. Unlike the previous mind, which is filled with all kinds of filthy, dirty, nasty things. So it is the duty of every human being to cleanse their mind by chanting of the holy name. Yeah. And then we came to the practice of concentration. By like memory muscles, they can actually be developed, just like physical muscles can be developed. It's possible. And how do we practice that? Then I spoke elaborately yesterday about two very important things, if you remember. I spoke about Jagrati, Swapna, Shushupti, Samadhi, 4 stages. So right now we are in Jagrati state, when we don't think anything about the Swapna, dream. When you are in Swapna in the night, it appears as if it's real for us. And we forget about Jagrati state. Anybody remembers a couple of examples I gave yesterday?
The example of a dog, when a dog is chasing us, or a boy when he's sleeping with a pillow and remembering a girl.
Correct. Exactly. Aravind recollected both examples. Very good. So these 2 examples are so pronounced, isn't it? It appears like reality for us, but actually that is only a dream when you wake up. So I told one story. I didn't conclude that. The king was dreaming he was a butterfly, and the butterfly was slowly moving from one flower to another, drinking honey. Slowly. He was doing for hours and hours. That dream went on, and he went into the dream so deeply, he became absorbed. Now he was wondering, am I a butterfly? Thinking I'm a king. And all these ministers are coming in my dream, in my king dream. Like that he thought. Or am I a king? I'm dreaming as butterfly. So he asked our ministers and asked, "Hi, tell me, are you all coming in my dream? Or am I the king as a butterfly? If you don't find out the answer, you'll be killed." So all the ministers started trembling. What to do? So the answer is neither of it is true. Neither is he a king, nor is he a butterfly. Really? Can you say why? Anybody can tell me why? Neither of these 2 things are true.
Probably because we are all living in Brahma.
We are living in Brahma, he says, in illusion. You see, the butterfly dream is also a dream. The king's body is also like a dream. Because who is he? He is spirit soul. He is servant of Krishna, belongs to spiritual world. That is his real identity, unchangeable identity, imperishable identity, everlasting identity. Therefore, reality is that. And then far from that reality is that the soul, after having occupied the king's body, now he's thinking he's the king. He's not permanently in the king's post. In the entire span of eternity, his king's role is a small flash in the entire time span of eternity. It is insignificant. Therefore, we can consider the king's body like a dream, the soul is having. The soul is thinking, I am a king. He's not a king. Or the soul is seated in a dog's body, saying, I am a dog, he says. Or he's thinking, I am a woman. Like all of us right now, we are thinking, I am a man now, because we are seated in a male body. And then when you occupy a female body, you think, oh, I am a female. So we may tend to think ourselves with the immediate body in which we are seated. And the butterfly dream is a dream in a dream. It is a dream inside a dream. That also can happen, right? Like, you think I am a king, I am lying down, then you can dream yourself to be somebody else also for that. So Shastras say, don't attach too much importance to Jagrati and Swapna. And understand your reality in Samadhi stage. Samadhi is the real stage. Samadhi is actually a stage when, like Lord Vishnu is lying in a Yoga Nidra, he is in Samadhi stage. When the Pralaya, Srishti, all are happening, creation, maintenance, annihilation, he is undisturbed in all three situations. Like if you see the whole universe itself, right now the jivas are all in Jagruti state, running here and there. And then the Pralaya Kal comes, destruction happens. At that time, all the jivas, they find water filling up the whole universe. Then the jivas go to the navel of Garbhadaksha Vishnu. In one of the Vishnu's navel, they are stored, where they are in Sushupti stage, deep sleep state. They are sleeping, waiting for the next creation to take place. And then the next creation takes place, again they will be in Jagruti state. So in this way, and the jivas may be sometimes in Jagruti, sometimes in Swapna, sometimes in Samadhi, they are being battered by the waves of samsara. Whereas Lord Vishnu, they are lying above in milk ocean, he is just relaxing, and he is in Samadhi always. 24/7, he is in Samadhi state. So those who are in Samadhi are in reality. Those who are in Samadhi are the most peaceful people. Because that Samadhi stage is such a stage, nothing can be harmed in your life. Because that's a real stage. Imagine, for example, if I have a TV, somebody can steal away the TV and they can subject me to lamentation. Similarly, in our life, we have many, many petty commodities which, if stolen, can plunge us into lamentation. Whereas the soul's love for Krishna cannot be stolen away by anybody. If you love Krishna, if you possess Krishna, nobody can steal Krishna away from you. Krishna is permanently with you, in your heart. Therefore, we should covet that commodity, which, if obtained, cannot be stolen away from you. That's what Shastra says. Tasyaiva heto prayate tako vido na labhyate yad brahmatam upariyadaha tallabhyate dukkavadanyata sukham kalena sarvatra kabhira ramhasa. Narada says in Bhagavatam. He says, Tasyaiva heto prayate kovido. Prayate means worthy of endeavor. Which one? Na labhyate brahmatam upari adaha, he is saying. By going to upper planets or lower planets, you cannot get it. This commodity. And then he's saying, in this material world, the commodities of the world can be easily obtained, he says. With little endeavor, you get, dhanam, janam, sundarima, anything in this world. But they all will be taken away. But if you get bhakti, nobody can steal your bhakti. That's permanent asset, like that he says. So then yesterday I discussed one more important thing called dualities. Arvind spoke about this thing, examples of Swapna. So can somebody tell me about dualities, what I said? You remember? Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Apamana.
Yes, Prabhuji. It was like this, that whenever we have some experiences in life, those experiences, they generate positive and negative emotions, and therefore pleasure and pain, and that's called duality.
So what is the result? You are right. Actually, we have positive and negative experiences. We have physical, mental, and at the platform of ego also, all three. The physical, we have Shita Ushna, cold and heat. And, we say Katinatvam is a Mridutvam. Mridutvam, Katinatvam. Mridutvam means soft, Katinatvam means hard. Similarly, Tanda, Garam, we say. Garmi, Tandi, we say. Hot and cold. Shita, Ushna, Sukha. And then the level of mind, we have Sukha, Dukkha, pleasure and pain. And in the level of ego, we have Mana. So, now what is the need for knowing about the dualities? Anybody can say. What do we gain by knowing about these dualities? We elaborately discuss these dualities.
Prabhuji, what happens is if we know this dualities, I mean, of course, it's not possible so early in our life, but we can tend to treat both of them equally and not have much impact on our mind. I mean, the one who treats sadness and happiness equally is the target state, right? So we could approach that. I mean, whatever we are facing, the body is facing it. So
Actually, what Shekhar is saying is an advanced point, which I have not yet brought out in my talk. I think Shekhar has read it from Bhagavad Gita, I think. Sukha dukkhi samay kritva labha labho jaya jaya. That's what Shekhar is saying.
yes,
You should treat them equally. I didn't say that point till now because that's an advanced point. I only told don't preoccupy yourself with reality. Only preoccupation I have spoken till now. I have not come to the point of treating them equally. Because who can say Sukha Dukkha are similar for me?
not
Man
possible.
is same for me. It's a very advanced platform. But I was telling that the soul should withdraw himself from preoccupation. I told you an example to you yesterday. Somebody goes to America, father sends him with money and everything studies. But then he may go there and connect with a life partner, and then he may go to the point of marrying and then later on divorcing and creating a mess in his life. People have done. In the past, there are experiences for it. We have seen people who do that. So they go for studies, and we have seen that many people have become, in a similar manner. They intended something and they got preoccupied with something useless, dirty, which ruined their, whole life and things like that. So preoccupation is what we discussed elaborately. And the dualities tend to preoccupy us. Okay, now another question for all of you. When I get preoccupied with some of the dualities, what is the result of that? Can anybody say? What is the result of preoccupation?
I keep remembering the past or get anxiety for the future.
So, okay, that is all right. I agree what Aravind said, but I am looking for something more. Anybody else? Shreyas or Chandan would like to try? Or Siddharth, anybody? Yeah. What is the result of preoccupation of the mind?
So if our mind is already preoccupied, it's like a mind already filled, so we cannot take in more information about Krishna.
Correct. And, that's the main point. Who is the Akash who said? Is it? Okay. See, when you are preoccupied with one thing, you cannot think another thing. It's as simple as that. Like, say you are preoccupied in playing, then at that playing time, you cannot think of studies. When you are preoccupied with a woman, for example, one cannot think of anything else, any responsibility in life. Somebody is, so our preoccupation consumes us, swallows us, devours us, the preoccupation. So I made a point yesterday that when you are preoccupied with dualities, we forget Krishna. We turn our back to Krishna. This is the problem in the entire world now, all over the world. Scientists know that. They say that how to take the mind away from distractions. So I was telling you, we are cultivating distractions. We are not cultivating distraction. How did we cultivate distraction and make it a habit? That we made it because we repeatedly allowed the mind to get preoccupied with dualities. So do you want to continue your life like that? Or withdraw your mind from preoccupation and learn the art of concentrating on Krishna? Because if you concentrate on Krishna, then all types of concentration will come. Your concentration will come in your studies also. It will come in your job also. Then you will become a Superman. You can do one thing at a time very powerfully. Now we are not doing that. We are allowing our mind to completely absorb in dualities. Shitoshna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Paman. So therefore I was telling you the preoccupation of the mind is not good in dualities. Dualities are compelling us to get drowned in the samsara. So that was one thing I was elaborately speaking about, preoccupation of the mind, which leads to forgetfulness of Krishna, lack of concentration. Yeah. So this is a very important subject because some of you may be thinking that, oh Prabhu, we have so many things to do. These classes are taking our time. Like one boy told, Prabhu, this is a waste of time for me, chanting and attending these classes. I would rather, do my studies, academics, and I want to crack the exams and get very good marks. You people are sitting and morning chanting and dancing in Mangalarti and then studying, hearing the classes and then chanting the whole name. These things are taking time, 2-3 hours goes away. I'm sorry, I'm pulling out from this spiritual club. I rather, be with my other smart students who are studying. So he left us. We repeatedly told him, Prabhu, spiritual life is very important. Don't neglect it. So he, instead of neglecting the unwanted activities, he actually neglected spiritual life and went away. So now he thought that morning, evening, both times he will get abundant time to study. Guess what happened with him? An idle man's mind is a
Devil's workshop.
Devil's workshop.
Devil's workshop. Precisely, that's what happened with him. Now he was not chanting, he was not coming to these classes. Then, because mind had little empty time, now he felt, oh, I have too much time now. I have nothing to do sitting in the room all alone. Life is pretty boring. Let me just go and meet my friends for a change. All the time, how can I study? So then he went to meet his friends. His friends took him to some adult movie. He watched the movie, and then mind became preoccupied with lust, anger, and greed, and such kinds of lower natures. Yeah. So, yeah. And you find the result was over a period of time, he started again the same point I told you, preoccupation. Correct, no? Yeah. That is the nature of the mind. As I told you, preoccupation is the greatest problem. So when mind gets preoccupied, then we can't do anything. Yeah. So over almost 6 months later, I met him. When his life had become totally changed. What he was and what he had become. We couldn't believe him and he couldn't believe himself also. His life could become so degraded. He had become devoured by various other habits. And his all good habits were gone in bad company. See, this is one thing we all have to know. In this world, we cannot manage and control our lives on our own very easily. Because in our conditioned stage, we tend to get attracted to dirty things, wrong things very easily. But the chanting of Hare Krishna, how much strength it is giving you, you may not even know. It gives you tremendous inner strength for you. So when that inner strength increases, you'll be able to get the stamina and strength to say no to the bad habits, and no to the dualities, no to the distractions. Right now, you're getting that strength because you are rightly situated. Yeah. So we'll go to the notes now where we left. Yeah. Please read this, practice of concentration.
To have mental concentration, one must be cheerful and peaceful. By cultivating friendship with equals, respect for seniors, compassion for juniors, and indifference towards sinners, one will destroy envy, hatred, and aversion, and become happy and serene. Srila Prabhupada says one can develop concentration by seclusion, determination, discretion, and detachment.
Yeah. So we should have the determination to complete the number of rounds. Like you all are chanting, 6 rounds or 8 rounds or 16 rounds. Never reduce the rounds. And have the determination to chant because that is what purifies your mind. And that is what takes you away from distractions and preoccupation. And discretion also means discrimination. Know the right from the wrong, good from the bad, and what is beneficial, what is harmful. Know the difference. And then develop detachment from all that is harmful to you. Develop detachment from what is bad, what is unbeneficial, what is useless. Don't allow mind to preoccupy itself with useless things. These 3 words are important. 3 Ds. Determination, discrimination, detachment. Now, determination increases by chanting Hare Krishna Japa. The discrimination increases by studying Shastra. And detachment, vairagya comes by associating with devotees. Living in the company of devotees and developing higher taste, we can develop lower detachment from the lower taste. Please read the next one.
By regular practice and cultivation, one can attain the platform of full concentration on Krishna's sweet names and remembrance of his pastimes. Mind and memory are like muscles. The more you use them, the stronger they get. Srila Prabhupada confirms that memory power can improve with practice. Memory may be poor, but if you cultivate something, your memory increases. Everyone becomes expert, not in one day, but by cultivation. Similarly, if you try to remember, then your memory will help you to remember. It is not difficult.
Yeah. Okay, now we are going to this last part. Conception and consciousness. There are two words used here. Yeah. And what is the meaning of conception? We should know the meaning of the Mahamantra while chanting. Yeah. It's called mantra artha chintanam. Mantra artha chintanam. Artha means meaning. One should chant while meditating the mind with the right type of conception. What is the right type of conception? The sloka is given here. Ayinandatanuja kinkaram patitam ambishame bhavam budhau Rupaya tava pada pankaja sthita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. My dear Lord, I am your eternal servant, but somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of material world. Kindly pick me up and fix me as a speck of dust at your lotus feet. That means, my dear Lord, you are my master, I am your servant. That's the right conception. Now, can somebody say, what is wrong conception? Right conception is, oh my dear Lord, you are my master, I have forgotten you. I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up and place me at your lotus feet as one of your millions of servants. That is right conception. What is wrong conception?
I am individual from God.
We are individual only. We are individual.
No,
you are individual, I am also individual.
I'm not the, I mean, I am this body and not the soul.
Considering I am this body, that is one wrong conception. Any other wrong conception? Shekhar found one wrong conception, which is considering ourselves to be the material body, which means we think I am fat, I am black, I am educated, I am illiterate, I am rich, I am poor. This is one wrong conception, because this is a temporary conception. What else? Any other wrong conception we have about ourselves? I told you, Ayi Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram. Kinkaram means servant. My dear Lord, you are master, I am servant. Generally in this world, everybody, what do they think about themselves?
Like they are the masters.
They think they are the masters. All of us are thinking that I am the master and everyone around me should be at my beck and call. The whole world should revolve around me. I am the pivotal figure. I am like the root of the tree. So we are not root of the tree. We are a leaf in the tree. We are one tiny part and parcel of God. We are not the root of existence. Hiranyakashipu, he thought that I will become a master of all three worlds. And everybody should salute me, bow down to me, worship me, chant my names. He thought like that. Actually, God, Krishna, he is the center. We are his servants. So that's the right conception. Wrong conception is, I am the master. Everyone should become my servant. So, wrong conception means basanubas. Right conception means dasanudas. You heard these two words? Dasanudas, servant of servant. Basanubas means master of master. We think, and so that is the wrong conception. And then what is right consciousness? Nadanam najanam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhakti rahaitapi tvayi. Is it the translation, please?
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor have I any desire to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want to cause this devotion service in my life, birth after birth.
Yeah. Here Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, I don't want dhanam, janam, sundarim. I don't want wealth, followers and women for my enjoyment. I only want bhakti. Ahitiki bhakti, pure Shuddha bhakti I want, birth after birth. So right consciousness means I want to do seva for you, bhakti maya seva. I don't want to do bhoga. Bhoga vritti is wrong consciousness. Seva vritti is right consciousness. So I will tell you a very easy method to remember these two things. We You take the example of Hanuman, Ravana. So Ravana has what vritti? Seva vritti, bhoga vritti. Which one?
Bhagavati.
He had bhoga vritti. Hanuman had seva vritti. That means right consciousness was there with Hanuman, not with Ravana. And the conception of Hanuman was what? When he look, for example, Hanuman is looking at Ram, he has the right conception. Oh, here is my master. I am his servant. Right conception. Hanuman is looking at Sita. He is thinking, she is not meant for my enjoyment. She is meant for Rama. She is Rama's property, not my property. Like that Hanuman is saying. That is right consciousness. Now Ravana is looking at Ram. He thinks, hey, who is he? Throw him out. No, I don't care for him. I am not his servant. I am a self-made master. So that is wrong conception Ravana has by looking at Ram. Then Ravana is looking at Sita and they think, oh, she is meant for my enjoyment. That is wrong consciousness, enjoying consciousness. Like in India, in the trucks behind they put, something like that, like something like this they put, oh man with the evil eye, don't look at this vehicle with the evil eye, they say. So Ravana was looking at Sita with the evil eye because of wrong conception. So Tera Mukkala, something like that they say. Something like that. Buri nazar wala, tera muh kala. Like that they say. See, buri nazar wala means one who is having an evil eye like Ravana, tera muh kala is condemned actually. That is the wrong consciousness. So, Sita, Ram, if you take two people, when you see Sita, you can know the consciousness. Right consciousness, Sita is my mother. Wrong consciousness, Sita is for my enjoyment. And when you look at Ram, right conception you get. Oh, Ram is my master. That's right conception. Wrong conception is, I am the master. Ram is not master. So these two are very, very important in chanting. When you are, as soon as you sit with your bead back to chant, immediately you should think, oh, Lord is my master. And everything is meant for Lord's enjoyment, not for my enjoyment. I am only a servant. So these two things you remember, then the chanting of holy name will be very joyful. Okay, how to chant Mahamantra rounds effectively? Please read it.
For one to gain the full benefit of chanting Hare Krishna, one should chant audibly. One should chant audibly and not silently. Also, if one doesn't chant aloud, one may go to sleep after some time and the fingers will stop moving the beads. Chanting audibly helps us and others to know that we are awake and alive, calling out the holy names of the Lord. Then we can focus us concentrating the mind on the holy name.
We should put energy. Actually, we should put energy in chanting. See, any work you do, it requires energy, right? So during chanting, our energy should be applied in loudly calling the name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If we don't call loudly, slowly we make our voice very, very soft. And then gradually we feel very tired. And then we slowly, we bend, and then we go to sleep. Sometimes we fall also like this. And the beads fall off from the hand. Drowsiness. Initially drowsiness, eventually sleep. And the lips start moving. I'm stopping. My Shiksha Guru, Maharaj, as well as Bhakti Maharaj, used to say that, how do you know a person is not chanting? Look at his lips. If his lips are not moving, he is not chanting. It is not that he has to put his head down or hand should be like this or something. So, you see, the hand should be like this, no? When you sleep, your hand comes like this, and then you go like, you buff. So therefore, we have to make sure that we keep the hands like bamboo, straight. All of you try this. Keep your hand like two straight bamboos, and on your knees, like this, like Siddhartha. Your Siddhartha who's sitting in the front.
Yes, Bhagwan Siddhartha.
Siddhartha. It's like Siddhartha, you see, he's keeping his two hands straight. You keep your two hands like that. If you keep like that, then you won't feel sleepy. You feel very fresh. And also keep your spine erect. Don't bend the spine. Keep the spine erect. And then, don't keep the face straight and not bend the face. Don't bend it. So if you keep like this, Shuchau Deshe, Padishta Pastaram Asanam Atmanah, Na Uchitam, Na Atinicham, Chailajana Pushottanam, Tatre Kagram Manakrutva. So Krishna says these things. Sit straight, keep the hands straight, look like this, don't bend, And then chant audibly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Very, very wonderful chanting it will be. And then if you bring the hand like this, slowly, and then slowly head also bends like this. And people close their eyes. Gradually the spine also bends. And slowly people go to sleep like this. You will see that. So this is the secret of not sleeping. You have to sit in Padmasana or Sukhasana, we call it. Straight, sitting like that. So by physically following this asana, you will always be brisk and fresh, ever fresh. You'll never get tired. All day you can do activity like this. And so two things here, posture and sound. You keep the posture straight and continue chanting audibly. Don't softly chant. You all chant audibly or softly. If you chant softly, slowly sleep will come. But if you chant audibly, sleep will go away. For example, Hare Krishna, you say, immediately mind will get up. Hey, I'm here. The mind will come running. When you chant Hare Krishna, what do you say? And then the mind will go to sleep. The soft chanting. That's the point. Those are the 2 points he's saying. Hit the next one, pronounce.
Pronounce clearly. Chanting involves the activities of the upper and lower lips as well as the tongue. All three must be engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The words Hare Krishna should be very distinctly pronounced and heard. Sometimes one mechanically produces a hissing sound instead of chanting. With the proper pronunciation with the help of lips and tongue. Chanting is very simple, but one must practice it seriously, pronounce clearly, and not mumble the Mahamantra within the mouth.
Yeah, you know what is mumbling? Not pronouncing clearly. Like some people say, like they chant. No, pronounce clearly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You should pronounce like that. You should not mumble. Some people chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama, Rama, Rama. They want to finish faster. No, that's not a correct procedure. Because when I chant too fast, what happens to me? The Hare Hare I swallow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama, Rama. No. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. 3 Hares are there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So therefore, we should not chant too fast. Don't neither chant too fast, don't mumble. Chant slowly, clearly, distinctly. If you really want to benefit from chanting, please take note of this thing. One should be very careful. Pronounce clearly. Don't mumble. Yeah, please chant it. Read it.
Sometimes a sleepy chanter may hallucinate the mumble part of the mantra and stop chanting in between. By pronouncing each word clearly and keeping awake, we get full benefit of chanting.
By chanting each word clearly, we get full benefit of chanting. Otherwise, mumbling means we go to sleep. Next one.
Hear attentively. Attentive hearing is the most important aspect of Japa. Srila Prabhupada explains, concentrate fully on the sound vibration of the mantra, pronouncing each name distinctly. Don't worry so much chanting fast. More important is hearing. Again, as you chant, try to hear each and every word very carefully. One should chant the holy name of the Lord with faith, enthusiasm, and firm conviction, and the statement of Lord Chaitanya. That simply by chanting the Maha Mantra, one can be gradually elevated to the highest platform. Since the mantra is transcendental sound vibration, it will act whether one knows the meaning of the mantra or not. Yet we must know that what exactly we are praying when we chanting the Maha Mantra. The Hare Krishna mantra is a prayer for protection and deliverance. A prayer to the Lord for His divine presence and for the opportunity to serve Him.
Yeah. So we are praying to Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. Please, oh Lord, protect me. Please engage me in your service. I am in a transfer. The conception and consciousness is very important. Our consciousness should be of seva vritti. And our conception should be, Lord is master, I am a servant, I want to engage in his service. I belong to him. This material world is an alien place for me. My original home is spiritual world. I have left the place and come here. So with this kind of understanding, as soon as I sit with the bead bag and immediately you should think, oh, Krishna is my master. Just like the Pandavas accepted Krishna as a master. Prahlad accepted Krishna as a master. Hanuman accepted Lord Rama as his master. So this is the conception that the consciousness should come to us. And then we should pronounce clearly 3 things. Please repeat. Chant audibly,
Chant audibly.
Pronounce clearly.
Pronounce clearly.
Hear attentively.
Hear attentively.
Yeah. So when you chant audibly, what can you avoid when you chant audibly?
Prevent from going from sleep.
You can avoid sleep. Correct posture and chanting audibly. You can avoid sleep. Correct. And by hearing, chant audibly, pronounce clearly. So how people don't pronounce clearly, they give a hissing sound. Whether they make sound. Purpose is don't hiss like a snake. You have to pronounce, move the upper and lower lips. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Purpose is that Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Pronounce clearly. Because if we don't pronounce clearly, we will mumble. When we mumble, we will become sleepy and drowsy. Pronounce clearly. And thirdly, it says, hear attentively. Like, chanting is also some kind of work. Just like if you are sweeping the room, you have to exert some energy, sweeping the room. If you have to do yoga or jogging, you have to exert some energy. If you have to drive a cycle or a car, you have to exert some energy. Similarly, in chanting also, you have to exert both physical and mental energy. How do you do that? You withdraw your body and mind from other things. And then hear Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can even see the two words in the eye of your mind. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then first two lines are repeating. And then Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So in this way, one should hear attentively. I read this one, laziness.
Laziness means to chant with a murky mind or to stop chanting before finishing a round in order to attend a so-called important activity. Another symptom is a strong urge to interrupt chanting for some rest. Remedy of laziness is to cultivate a strong desire to chant a prescribed round very sincerely and attentively. A strong desire and eagerness to chant the holy name is most pleasing to Krishna and is a fundamental requirement for good japa.
Yeah, he says don't do two things. Like look at these fellows. They're putting newspaper on the face and going to sleep. So some people may give up chanting and go to sleep. Or they may get interrupted by some phone call or some beep message, coming in WhatsApp. But, therefore, it's better to switch off the mobile and keep it far away. Mobile is a very dangerous companion in chanting. Like Bharat Maharaj got distracted by a deer. Similarly, mobile is like our deer. They distract us from our goal of life. So you keep mobile far away when you are chanting. Don't get distracted. So sometimes even in class, when you are attending a class, sometimes we tend to SMS to somebody, and gradually the SMS takes us away from the class which you are hearing. Similarly, with chanting also. When you are chanting, suddenly a beep comes. Beep. Immediately mind says, let me see who is there. And then I will chant. Then you see the person. Then you're chanting and thinking, who is the person? Why is this person sending me? What has he sent? Let me quickly see it. And then I quickly see that. And after that, you keep it down and then you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Maybe I'll give him one short call, 2-minute call. And then I will chant after that. Because why is he calling me in this morning time? You may think. And then you call him, and instead of 2 minutes, it becomes 20 minutes. Then your chanting time is gone. This is how the mind slowly distracts us from our goal. So don't get distracted by mobile and don't be distracted by lying down and sleeping during chanting. And chant with attention. Yes. And next one is, I read the next one.
Avoid mechanical chanting.
Yes.
Revival of the dormant affection or love of the Godhead, however, does not depend on the mechanical system of hearing and chanting, but is solely and wholly depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. When the Lord is fully satisfied with the sincere efforts of the devotee, he may endow him with his loving devotional service. We need Krishna's mercy so that the holy name will appear on our tongues, being attracted towards sincere, loving chanting.
Yeah. So actually, Krishna is interacting with the jivas. He's watching us chanting. If he is pleased with my chanting, then he will give me his mercy very easily. So it's not a mechanical system of hearing. What is meaning of mechanical? You put this much input, you get that much output. It's not like that. If you affectionately chant and sincerely chant, faithfully, because Lord is watching your sincerity. It is not just a quantity, it is also the quality. Therefore, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Andakar, Yahan Krishnatani, Na Maya Radhikar. Krishna is like sun, Maya is like darkness. Where there is sun, there cannot be darkness. Similarly, where there is Krishna, there cannot be Maya. So therefore, you should not mechanically chant. Mechanical chanting means, you are just sitting and trying to finish off the rounds. Like morning, imagine out of 8 rounds, you chanted only 2 or 3. Rest 5 rounds in the night, you have to chant. You are taking the feedback and then you're looking at the watch. Oh, now it is already 9:30 and I have to chant 5 rounds. Then you are walking vigorously. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. People are more in a mood of completing the rounds. Somehow or other, finish off the rounds and go to sleep. Because then there is no taste in chanting. There is no prayer to the Lord. There is no right conception or consciousness. The goal is only one thing. Finish off the rounds like that. Imagine, for example, if a boy loves a girl and the girl says, I want to meet you now in the evening and I want to talk to you. You go to her and say, no, please tell me. What do you want to talk? I'm getting late now. In 5 minutes, I'll finish up with you and I have to rush for that. If you say, what will she think? She will say that, hey, if you are so much in a hurry, then you go and do your thing. You need patience. So same in chanting also. You want Krishna in your life, or you want to reject Krishna and do something else which you think is more important. So when you are chanting, if Krishna sees we are uninterested in him, we are mechanically trying to complete off the quota, but not paying attention to the hearing, then we won't get mercy so easily. It takes time. Anything in this world you want to do, you have to invest your consciousness, your time, your attention. Nothing comes for free in this world. Chanting is such a simple process. You should be willing to sit down, chant properly, and hear the holy name. And you should know it is for your own good you are doing. Like all of you brush your teeth every day, right? Do you say that, what is this waste of time brushing the teeth? Better let me brush my teeth once in a year or twice in a year. Do you say that? If you don't brush your teeth will stink. If you don't take your bath, your body will stink. If you don't chant the holy name, our mind will stink. And our mind will bring out all dirty things if you don't cleanse our mind by chanting the holy name. So you are doing it for whose advantage? For your own advantage. You gain the benefit when you chant the holy name. That should be never forgotten. So if you understand this, that I am benefiting by chanting the holy name, then you will do it. Because for example, I'll tell you a simple thing. You get a viral fever. You have to take out time, go to doctor, show your body, and then take the medicines, take an injection, lie down in the bed, put aside your books and everything. 3 days, it swallows. Completely bed rest, and you are on diet also. So don't you do that? Even if it is examination time, we do that. There is only 1 week for the exam. Still, if I get viral fever, I will throw away everything and I will lie down. So when our health is in crisis, we all do give time, we give attention. Similarly, right now our soul is unhealthy now in this world with bhoga-vritti instead of seva-vritti. So we have to cure the malady of the soul. So we need to give attention to chanting. We can't do it mechanically and finish it off. That finishing off, that kind of attitude is not a very good attitude. Like you all have joined a college now. You have so many subjects. If you just study the subjects for finishing off the subject, you will not get good marks. But if you invest your time, study the subjects very well, understand it, and then discuss with other friends, discuss with teachers, and then do your assignments with full concentration. Then when you take up the job, your education will be helpful. Anything you do in life, do it with your heart. Your profession or your devotion. Don't do mechanically. That's the point he's making. Next one.
Firm determination to chant once. Firm determination to chant one's prescribed quota of rounds every day. Japa is a barometer of a spiritual life. So when our japa is strong, then we are spiritually strong. Strong desire must manifest in the firm determination to chant one's prescribed quotas of rounds every day, even in the midst of adverse and trying circumstances, and also in the firm endeavor to improve one's quality of japa. One must therefore be determined to do every act necessary to come to the standard of good japa qualitatively and quantitatively.
Yeah. So japa is the barometer of spiritual life, it is said. That means if I am chanting japa with sincerity and seriousness, sitting erect and calling out the holy name loudly and attentively, that means I am strong in spiritual life, my determination is increasing. And I am completing the quantity. I took 8 rounds or 16 rounds or whatever. I completed it. Quantity is over and quality was also good. Quality means, what was my chanting consciousness? Did I do it with attention or with distraction? Did I did it with absorption? Or I was preoccupied with something else? Like one boy was telling, Prabhu, one day I sat with the bead bag. The entire chanting time I was planning for my career. After my study, which is a company I will go, I will not go for this kind of job, that kind of job and all that. So, am I chanting with preoccupation of mind on material things? Or am I chanting with absorption? Am I chanting with attention, one pointed attention of hearing the sound? Or am I chanting getting distracted by mobile, distracted by some coming talk on phone calls? So these are things you should ask. Please read it. See, Dhruva Maharaj chanted with firm determination. Therefore, he attained perfection in 6 months. Read it.
Can you think of Krishna's pastime while chanting Hare Krishna? One question that is sometimes asked by devotees is whether they can think of pastimes of Krishna while doing japa. Srila Prabhupada said, so you cannot make any distinction between listening to the sound and thinking of the pastime, but the process is to hear, and then Krishna's pastimes, form, qualities, etc. will automatically come to mind. At another place, Srila Prabhupada says, generally it is a process to simply chant and hear, but if Krishna's Leela comes into remembrance, that is very good. It should come automatically, not that you are remembering artificially.
Yeah, that is the main point, the last point. That we don't think of any pastimes of Krishna on our own, but Krishna will reveal some pastimes in our mind over a period of time as we become more and more purer. Actually, a pure mind becomes a very good repository of Krishna's pastimes. It becomes like a playground of Krishna's pastimes. They will reveal over time. So we don't have to artificially think about it now. Right now, our only prime goal should be chant and hear. Chant and hear. Make an effort to hear. It's a kind of exercise. Just like you do yoga with physical body. Remember, with the mind, you should try to hear the sound. And mantra-artha chintana, right conception, right consciousness with which we chant. Any questions or comments? And just put the chart. So this entire chapter was devoted to learning the art of chanting attentively. It's a very important aspect of our spiritual life. As I told you, 90% of progress. So, Omkar Prabhu, this notes is available with the students?
Prabhu, Omkar Prabhu is not there as of now. He has a call, like interview call.
Okay. So,
yes.
Whenever I am teaching a particular notes, you all are getting the notes, copy of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have, yeah. So that we can go through this leisurely when you get time. So I actually prepared this notes materials in 8 pages. Like you saw this one, exactly 8 pages it is. So they are very quick to read. So as you see here, this is Sankalp camp going on currently, and scientific benefits of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Each chapter I made it in 8 pages like this with pictures along with the notes material. as you see here, Gita for All made is a game, positive thinker PT course. This is this course is totally 73 lessons, including the practical lessons on chanting and things like this. So you are probably might have completed about 10, 15 or 20, I think. But you will see that as you proceed, little by little, all the essence of Gita and all the other small and medium-sized books of Prabhupada are covered in this. I had actually gathered the important ones and put them all together. And what is Radha Guru Prabhu teaching you all now, currently?
Prabhu, today's class was on karma, like akarma, vikarma.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And Vanamali Pandit Prabhu is also teaching?
Yes, Prabhu. He has completed this course on Prahlad Maharaj, he completed, and also what Jada Bharata he completed.
So in Prahlad Maharaj's multiple choice questions, you all answered also?
Yes, Prabhu, we did.
Okay. Yeah, correct. The small boy who loved the Lord. Yeah, correct. I know that. Yeah. Okay. So he did Prahlad Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj has not yet done, right?
Prabhu, it's done. Both of them are completed.
So, okay. So in Bharat Maharaj, you learned about avoiding distraction, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Here I told you the theory, and there you learn practical. In Bharat Maharaj, how it's a real life story. He was the king of the whole country, Bharat. So you can see that the Shastric pastimes are so valuable for us because they teach principles even for the modern man also. Even contemporary times, what we suffer, those things are explained in the Bhagavatam long before. So if you simply continue attending these things, see, we will be completing this in a week, this kind of series, what we are doing now. And after the 15th or 16th, I think January, then your colleges are reopening, then we will not be having so many classes like what we are having now. Generally, we have, you will be attending the temple Bhagavatam classes, I believe, in the morning when you have to go to college. Then we have only weekly classes we have. Weekly, you have a couple of hours program. But chanting, we do daily. So make this practice of chanting. I heard last time, you all can tell me how many rounds you chant approximately. Let us see. Siddharth, you chant how many?
Prabhu, I chant 6 rounds as of now.
Okay, right. Thank you. And next to you, what's his name, our other devotee? Sharad. Okay, Sharad, you chant how many?
8 rounds, Prabhu.
8 rounds, huh? Okay, very good. That's very good. And then behind is Akash. Akash chants how many rounds?
8 rounds, Prabhu.
How many he said, Akash?
8, Prabhu.
10, huh?
No,
8.
he chants 8 rounds, Prabhu.
8 rounds, okay. 8 rounds. So you all must be taking about 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes, I believe, correct, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
That's very good. And Shekhar, you chant how many? You started?
I started with 1 round. I'm at 2 rounds, Prabhu, at max.
Okay. Even the 2 rounds is good, but you keep it up. Don't reduce it. Huh?
Sure.
And Arvind, yourself?
Today I started with 1 round, Prabhuji.
Okay. Keep it up regularly, Arvind. Huh? And Shreyas?
1 round.
Okay. So Shreyas, Arvind, keep up your 1 round regularly. And
Yes.
see, your knowledge is a lot now. You have attained tremendous knowledge now in all these classes. In proportionate to the knowledge, you also, all of you should try to do rounds accordingly. Like you are capable of chanting 4 rounds very easily, all of you. Because with this knowledge, you have to process this knowledge, what you have received by chanting Hare Krishna. And the chanting Hare Krishna will actually give you determination, inner strength, ability to tackle all challenges in life. It will give you concentration in your studies, also in everything you do. And it will give you control of your senses, so you don't get into wrong habits. So many advantages we read, isn't it? And people have seen it. We are not just telling stories. We have real life examples. Long before Mrugari, but recently hippies. And after hippies, we are seeing even now, ISKCON is preaching all over the world. So keep it up. Whatever you are doing, you keep it up and then try to go ahead. And even if it is 1 or 2 rounds, those who are like Arvind and Shreyas, keep it up. And then you will get a higher taste. Now, Shekhar has come to 2 rounds now. From 1, he has gone to 2 now. And the other devotees like Siddharth and Akash, and who is the third one I heard?
Sharad.
Sharad, yeah. Siddharth, Sharad, and Akash, they are all chanting 8 rounds. It's very good, very wonderful. Keep it up and continue regularly. Now, in the next lesson onwards, I'll go faster because this was on chanting. I devoted a lot of time. So, further lessons, generally I do in 2 sittings, 1 lesson we complete. Probably another few days, probably a week, I think. We will proceed with further lessons. And any doubts you have, you are free to write mail to me, or you can ask Omkar Prabhu, Vanamal Pandit Prabhu, Raghav Gupta Prabhu. You have many teachers to help you. Feel free to ask. And in your practice of spiritual life, if you have any difficulty, do not hesitate to take help. You are living in temple, your prasadam, your accommodation, your health, your services, your academics, everything requires attention, time. Take care of yourself, and we want to see you have an overall development in all these aspects. Nicely. Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hmm.